Okay.
So like I'll always like,
Very different.
huh?
It's just very different, like
Yeah.
from like our childhood. You know?
Well, dude, I'll like tell her about like crazy chicks and shit and like stuff that they do. And she's like, I literally have no idea what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Because she has no clue. And she like when I talk about like certain girls and like them doing like crazy shit, you probably know who I'm talking about. She's like, I have never known anyone in my life to be like that. Like,
Just ever, period.
ever, yeah,
I've
seriously.
never known anyone in my life.
yeah, ever. But she's like, I've never known anyone like that. And I'm like, yeah, it's because some people come from like just it's like a whole different reality.
Yeah, it's literally
You know
what
what
it
I
comes
mean?
down to. Like, because I mean, reality is the best way to put it. Like, that's
Yeah.
their life. That's what they grew up. That's all that they know.
Yeah.
So that's their.
We're like
reality,
we
bro.
actually had like a diverse childhood. You lived in Milwaukee for a period of time and then came out to Heartland, and then I was basically like at my grandparents' house all the like every night in Milwaukee when I was in elementary school and middle school. And then high school came, and then we were out here, but we like were hopping back and forth from like town to town to town and meeting different people, you know, just like doing crazy shit. And, but like, so some people just literally have not done anything. You know what I mean? And so like we've met the craziest of the craziest chicks. We've met the dumbest of the dumbest dudes, you know? And we have like,
Dumbest of
so we
dumbest on
can
each
reference like different shit that a lot of people have no idea even happens in life.
Yeah, that's true. Because we get the full spectrum right there,
Yeah.
literally. And I feel like I dated the full spectrum,
Yeah, dude.
bro. So yeah, I mean, but like to be that sheltered.
I
Because
don't
like
think
she
it's
still went
sheltered,
to
it's just-
high school, you know. Like, are you telling me like every girl at Jackson High School is gonna be the same? Like, you don't have the cliques, you don't have like the girly girls and all.
No,
that
but
stuff.
also check this out. So I've talked about this with her too, and it's interesting because I feel like millennials have different generations within millennials. as well,
1,000%,
right? But like when you go from like everybody always talks about like boomers, millennial, Gen Z, like they split it up like that. But millennials are the one generation that I feel like has subcategories of millennial.
Agreed.
And there's different shit that went on, right?
Agreed.
Because we came up during like the technological advancement era, you know? So like
We've had our hand or at least foot. We've been walking with technology this entire
right.
time.
So like we got to experience Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and all these different things. MySpace.
Ooh,
Yeah.
they need to bring that shit
But dude,
back.
all at different times than the older millennials got to. So like for us, Snapchat was a doggy dog thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
For the ones older than us, it wasn't like that. Like if you talk to some of them, it's like they were like Snapchat was originally made to like send nudes back and
That's
forth,
it.
right? Everybody
Yep.
knows
Disappear.
that.
Yep.
However, a lot of people who had Snapchat that are a little bit older than us didn't use it for that. It was legitimately just to, like communicate and stuff. And then it was us, and we were like dogging with chicks on it, right?
See,
And then now after us, they're even worse.
I mean, yeah, so this is the way I see it. So yeah, like you had, the shady start of Snap sending nudes back and forth. I felt like our generation used it for communication, just quick text back and forth, and then the millennial generation, older than us, I felt like they didn't catch on, but then they caught on during the conversation portion,
Yeah.
and then now all the younger people, they're just they damn near turn it into Tinder, type deal.
Actually, I think you have the timeline right better than I do.
Because that's how I feel.
And even when I talk to like kids younger than us, like the way that they use Snapchat is like because I don't use Snapchat at all.
I know. I sent you a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Never hit me back.
So like, but like the way that like Tristan and all those kids tell me is like that they can add people that are just like in the area, like around town or something like that. I thought you had to have somebody's phone number, dude. Like I literally thought
I think
you
that's
had to
like
have
all
their
the
phone
quick
number.
ad stuff.
Huh?
Like when you're like location, like we'll call it geofencing, whatever, geo-based. But you can just quick add them because they'll pop up then. Kind of like freaking Tinder.
Yeah.
Again.
It's so weird, dude. So anyway, so getting back to what I was saying is like, because you're telling me that there's no chicks like that in high school. or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
So when we were kids, right, a slut, like a girl that was a slut was like a chick that made out with a bunch of dudes.
Well, from the stories that we've heard from the high school that we went, I would say that there's a few different meanings.
But the more extreme was crazy. Right? Like we were like, she snorted what off of his belly? You know, like we're like, what happened? But that was crazy.
Yeah.
We were like dumbfounded by that shit. Like other girls that were sluts was like a chick, like generally speaking. Like obviously there's like the exception, but chicks that like made out with a bunch of dudes were like whores.
Yeah.
And now it's like that's super normal. Plus, like now it's like sluts are girls that have banged over 15 dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like,
might be a different number still.
yeah,
Like higher. You know?
yeah. Like it's just like it's way different. So that's what I'm talking about. Like generational gaps. It's just everything is so much different.
It is very different. I feel like I don't know, like maturity and mentally, I feel like we are truly going backwards. But you know, you have all the stuff that kind of doesn't matter, like social media, all that stuff, you know, some portions of technology that's still moving forward that everyone's so gung-ho about, but it's just like, what's the use of that? You know, like truly, is there any good that comes out of it?
I think like there's a lot of good that comes out of technology, obviously.
And that's definitely yes, because I'm not saying all technology, because dude, I'm a tech fiend.
Yeah,
I'm a tech fiend
for sure.
But you know, I'm still gonna base it on if it's gonna better my life or not.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think that social media has done a lot of really, really good things, but I think for the younger generation now, social media has done so many bad things that it's crazy. So like, I think that one of like, for me, one of the like, the things that I think is crushing society, ruining society is like, people aren't focused on like having long-term relationships. You know what I mean? But I think that access to girls and access to dudes is crazy now because anybody can connect with anybody. So nobody wants to just like settle and chill and, you know, have like a normal, healthy relationship. It's all like they want to just like be involved in hookup culture and whatever. And you can say what you want about like people should have there or whatever.
I would even say, you know, like hookup culture, yes, and I kind of feel like, especially for the younger generations, you know, like that's kind of how they were raised. Everything's just 10-second Tom, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're okay, on to the next, they're on to the next. So if their lifestyle's that way, why should it be any different with the girl?
What do you mean?
Like,
oh yeah, I get what
you know, like you're gonna date one, okay, that was cool, fun, on to the next instantly. Like, see you for, or just not even just hopping around because that's just what they're used to.
Yeah.
The new thing, you know, every day.
Yeah.
Just constantly chasing that dragon.
Well, it's like they always think that there's something better that's going to happen.
Right.
You know, and then like I run into like, dude, when I talk to some of these kids, I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude, you literally have zero life experience. Like forget the other people, but like you are not going to have a chance in hell when you grow up because
that's a lot of people, man.
Dude, they don't have any sort of concept of like consequences or like actually having to take care of shit or pay for stuff or whatever. Like, it's crazy.
And man, and Victor and I actually were just talking about it. Like, granted, it's a little bit different aspect because he's like, bro, like, did you hear the story? And so clearly, like Milwaukee, some 15-year-old got shot. I'm like, bro, why you always tell me some badass news? You know, he's always informing me on some bad news. He's like, guess how old the person was who shot him? I was like, 12. He's like, yep. But that's crazy. Yeah. Like we have to live. That's our society now where, you know, I'm scrolling through IG and I'm seeing like reels, this one dude in the car pulling up to these two 11-year-olds. They're just talking shit, you know, got the masked up. One's got a strap on them. They're just out there running in the streets of Chicago. Like, bro, that's very different than our childhood.
Yeah.
Very different. Yeah. Like, thinking about actually touching a real gun, not happening. No. Sure, we're gonna play Guns N' Roses and all that other stuff with like Nerf guns. You know, as it progressives, we can maybe get into BB guns like freaking Billy and paintball guns and all that stuff. But like that's kind of where it stops.
Yeah,
you know, like we didn't grow up in an era where you just have these 10 through 15-year-olds just running these cities, just shooting people up with not a care in the world because they feel like they are untouchable. But then now you have families crying at funerals because their 10-year-old got shot by an 11-year-old. That's bonkers,
Yeah.
bonkers. It disgusts me on a whole different level. But like that just shows like, like I'm sorry, dumb people raising dumb kids. Just no consequences, no nothing, and almost just like boosting them up for it. Like, oh shit, you got your first lick, bet. You're 6 years old, bro. What are you doing? Like, man, like there's a very big disconnect. 100%. And that is where we're dealing with all those consequences right now. We're living it, man.
Well, people are glorified for doing that shit now. Right? You know?
Why?
I think it's culture. I think that it's hip hop music, and I think that.
But we grew up around it. We're not out here trying to run these streets, bro.
Yeah, but we didn't have
living in it. Like you listen, like okay, I'll let you finish.
No. Go ahead.
Like, are you going to say like we didn't have that type of exposure, like real shit exposure?
No, because I think that we definitely did.
Okay.
Like we well, because I was the more aggressive one in the group, right? I was always trying to start a fight with somebody. It like almost never happened. You know what I mean? But like, but I feel like there was definitely the exposure. But I think the difference is like we did not grow up in a culture where you could get clout for it.
Yeah, and everyone's gonna see it too.
Right.
Yep. Okay.
You know what I mean?
But still, like, I don't know. Like, even let's say, you know, like you just got a gang banging ass parent, you know, and you have your son, 10 years old. Like, don't you think something would click where it's just like, I want better for my child? Just simply is that?
I mean, dude, you'd hope so, but it's like
it's
at
sad.
the same time, like I feel like some parents, like I've been like kind of wondering about the disconnect there too, wherein like gangbanging culture seems to just be getting worse rather than better.
Worse and just more reckless.
Yeah,
like literally more reckless. Like
yeah.
Just shootouts.
Yeah,
on just standard like you know suburban streets, bro. Like a complete shootout between gangs, and it's just crazy. Like for what? For
just because they're the ops, dude. That's
like it's crazy.
You know, literally just because they're the ops, which is like, oh, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I think that personally, what I think happened was, so I think it's all by design, obviously, right? Like I think that there's like people that like want this shit to happen, but I think that the real trap music and like, you know, like King Von and all those guys, even like before him, I think that that's what started it off to make it worse.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'd even reach, man, because I mean,
I love
would
the
say,
music.
Yeah,
you know,
me too. But like,
but it would never.
I would say it started creeping.
Yeah.
At least when I started noticing, like, just younger people acting out a little bit more. Honestly, fucking started, right, was it Lil Xan?
Yeah.
That's when I really started, like...
SoundCloud era.
Damn. Some dumbass people out here.
Dumbass kids.
Dumbass kids, bro. Like, you did what?
Yeah.
You guys are out here eating Tide Pods for what? Like, as a chant, like, I'm sorry. I 100% believe in my bad survival of the fittest.
Yeah,
100%.
Dude, I had a kid tell me that him and his friends decided to, like, how can I say this without
incriminating?
Yeah, they decided to, on a homecoming night at a certain school, climb the top, like go up there, have their own homecoming or whatever. And then they went to Walgreens and used self-checkout and got themselves cough syrup, like NyQuil or Robitussin, and then made their own lean. And I'm like, you're 14 years old, dude.
When did they do this?
Around homecoming time.
Okay, so this year.
Yeah.
So I would have to ask, because it geeks me out.
Yeah.
One, if they did any research about, you know, the cough syrup. Two, if they went in and just bought it like out of the shelf, or if they had to go to the pharmacist. And the reason why I asked those two questions is because if they didn't do either of those, well then if they felt anything, they're completely lying, bro. They took that specific thing out of
Yeah.
the shelves
Well,
because
yeah.
that was happening. That's why you have to get it from the pharmacist. You can't just walk in and get some NyQuil and be like, oh shit, I got some lean now. Like,
Yeah.
No, bro. Like you can drink as you want to try to robo trip, drink as much as you want, bro. You're gonna throw up and just feel sick because they
it's not
took
gonna
that
have
all
any
out.
of the active ingredients in
Yeah.
it, whatever, because you have to, even NyQuil, you have to ask for permission to get it, right? They have to
no.
unlock the box for you?
Nah,
No? Whatever, dude. Whatever he took. And then I was
like
like,
the DM stuff. That's what they put back there.
so I was like, dude, why? Like, what's the point? And he's like, we wanted to geek out. He's like, dude, I was geeked. And I'm like,
All cap.
I'm like,
all cap.
yeah, and that, but I told him, I'm like, bro, you're 14 years old. Like, you're gonna start doing some real shit if you like start like faking this now.
Shit,
know?
yeah. And we've like just even not like in our friend group, but we've grown up around some of the people that we know that started from X. Fucking took it all the way to Z. I mean, shit. Simply rest in peace, but my brother. You know?
Yeah.
Simply him.
Well, dude, and one of our really good friends growing up with the dreads was snorting morphine at 14 years old. You don't remember that? I remember going into bathrooms with him, like. And so the one time that I remember this happening is like we went into the bathroom at like a convenience store or whatever. We were skateboarding all day. And then he went in there and he crushed up. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do morphine right now. Like I got a morphine. And I was like, I didn't even know what a morphine was, dude. I was like, the hell are you talking
I'm
about?
gonna do a morphine real quick.
Yeah. It was like a blue pill and he snorts the thing and this dude was gone. And I remember, dude, it was just such a crazy time.
Got a funny story
Huh.
about that. So I'm gonna out myself really quick, but I don't really care because I don't think dude's gonna watch. But same person.
Yeah.
This was like right as we start. Like I kind of just first met him. We started like talking, hanging out, and so we had same study hall. He's like, bro. Anywhere you can, like, you got any Adderall on you? I was like, no, bro, I got some at home. He's like, okay. He's like, bro, I'll buy some. I was like, how many you need? He's like, 3. I was like, 60. So, right? So after school, I go home. Bro, me not knowing what Adderall looks like, because, like, I've never taken pills, and, I'm 14 years old.
Don't even know what an Adderall
Right,
is.
bro. I go into my medicine cabinet, grab 3 Advil with the A on it.
Really?
So I take them. I was like, okay, I got to make this look like a funky pill. So it's like circles. So I take my skateboard, and on the grip tape, I just start grinding it down till it's a diamond.
No.
Go to school the next day. Bro, here you go.
That's
Gave me 60.
crazy.
And I know he took them.
Yeah.
But
And
like,
probably acted like he was off.
yeah,
Adderall.
but it's just like, bro, if you know what Adderall looks like, it does not look like that.
Yeah, no. What the hell? I don't even think it looked like that back then. And that
Nah, 'cause
Adderall is probably just popping up at that
Yeah,
point, too.
it's just like, I don't know, but that geeked me out. So
Yeah.
got $60 for selling 3 Advil. Gang shit.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a salesperson now, bro.
It's crazy and mind blowing to think about the things that we did
Yeah.
as younger dudes.
We were assholes.
Yeah.
Like, assholes when it came to physical stuff.
We didn't care.
But like when it came to like people and like making friends and all that, like, no, we're the nicest / funniest kids you're ever gonna meet.
Yeah.
But get ready for this ride, bro. Hey, bro, buckle up, because this is not just a come over, we're gonna hang out, watch a movie,
Yeah.
fucking pop some popcorn. Nah, we getting out there.
And see, this is what this like. I have this theory that kids in the suburbs, like, they do drugs and shit, like hard drugs, because they're bored.
Bored. Yep.
So there's nothing
Think
to do.
about the shit because we were bored.
I was just gonna say, like, we came up with the worst shit to do because we were bored. But hey, at least we were active. We were out there
Active?
doing stuff.
We're not doing drugs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Arguably, it's probably a little worse than drugs what we did.
Yes, but we're not doing them.
Yeah.
We didn't get addicted to the things
Right.
that we were
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
We weren't out there like drinking and driving.
Yeah.
I thought, dude, I wouldn't change a single thing.
No, I wouldn't either. Because, dude, even like the kids that
Like, that's where you find your fucking real ones.
Yeah.
Like, your
Through
realest
through
ones.
the tough shit.
Yeah, bro.
I remember we went to no, never mind.
Don't do it.
No, I'm not going to. Shit, dude. What was I gonna say? It was gonna be so funny, dude. I forget.
I don't know which adventure you were gonna pick.
Yeah.
Did you just fart?
I don't remember. Me?
Yeah.
No, I coughed.
Oh.
When?
Just like right now.
I coughed. Fart. No.
I saw you all lift.
No, dude, trust me. If I cough or if I fart right now, I'm gonna shit my pants.
Okay, I don't want to do that.
No, dude. Yeah, I think back sometimes and I feel bad, but then other times I'm like, okay, no.
And
what
Jennifer
I was gonna say
really makes me feel bad.
Huh?
Bro. I said Jennifer really makes me feel bad because like she knows absolutely everything that we've done. Cause,
Yeah.
you know, it's a funny and fun topic to
Yeah.
bring up. She's like, dude, why didn't you guys go to jail?
Well, we were threatened a couple times with jail. Yeah.
Like, yeah, we got out though.
Yeah. We had really good lawyers ourselves.
Ourselves.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a salesperson.
Yeah. But dude, I mean, even I think back like to some of the shit. I don't know how to classify people because I didn't really tell me what you think. When we were in high school, I didn't know that there was a popular crowd.
Yeah,
I didn't think about it like that.
That's something, bro. I'll let you finish it.
Well, so when I think about it, and like now I know who the popular kids are or were or whatever, and I felt like I didn't realize what it was or whatever because like I was able to talk to everybody. Like I didn't think like anything of it. But when I look back, like dude, a lot of those kids turned out to be really bad and like not doing anything in life, you know? And those are the kids that like you would think would be doing hella shit, you know, and have a lot going for them. And they just like turned out to be burnouts and nothing going on.
Yep. And that's just like, yeah, I mean, I guess to further go into it. So, you know, like I'll talk to Jennifer and so Jennifer, you know, she's telling me her experience in high school and, you know, out in Waukesha, one of the threes. I won't list it, but
She went to Waukesha?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so like she's able to tell me like, oh yeah, like there are certain groups here, and then like even in different schools, like, oh yeah, you know, most of the popular kids went to this one. So like she had a good grasp on it and she understood it. And like when I talk to people, her included, and because they're always like, "Oh, you went to Arrowhead, fucking schnob, all that." So it's just like, bro, it wasn't even bad. Like I don't like my experience compared to what everyone thinks happens.
Yeah,
so different. Like again, yeah, no bullying. Everyone seemed to at least have like a part in every other else's group.
Yeah,
if that made sense.
100%.
So it's just like it was a full circle. You know, like yeah, you had some that you know maybe took it a little farther than others in each group, but there was no bad blood between groups. Like shit, if anything, bro, like not like us, but like our group had the worst blood with
our own subgroup.
Yeah, you know, so it was like fighting within that. So it's just, yeah, it's very weird. But like, yeah, I mean, especially for me, you know, like specifically, like for in high school, like I was a jock because I was on the basketball team, you know. But at the same time, if I'm not playing basketball, bro, like I'm skating with you.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. So it's just like I got to live both aspects of life if you want, but like it didn't feel different, didn't feel weird, didn't feel like.
And I feel like there wasn't a lot of like shit talking either. Like nobody like shit talked anybody. Like I don't know, dude. So I'm always confused when I hear that with like kids because I'm like, why don't you just talk to them? Like just go like I don't know, it's not that big of a deal. I want to talk about the beef though, because I think that would be a good story. The one beef that we got into where we almost like lost our lives literally with the sub, like, so one, like a long time ago, this is when we're like 16, 17 years old. Our friends started to split off from like this other group.
Mainly because they were getting into stuff that we just didn't get down with.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, so we didn't like what they were doing or whatever. So we just kind of stopped hanging out with them. And so anyway, one day we thought it would be funny to like throw. You already started.
Yep.
One day we thought it would. So first it started like this. One day we thought it would be funny to tuck someone in the trunk of our car with an airsoft gun and shoot at these kids on the corner, because we would all like they would always sit on the corner and what do we call it, the clock or whatever.
I think it's just a corner. Like
Yeah.
we knew what it was.
Yeah. Everybody knew
But
this.
there
corner.
was a clock there.
Yeah. So they would sit there, and then we tucked somebody in the trunk of the car, and they started shooting at them, and then that like pissed them off a little bit, but it was all fun and games still. And so we were like, that wasn't enough. We didn't get a good enough reaction from these guys. So we went to Cousin Subs, and we filled up those little ketchup things. Full
It was
of
not
ketchup.
little.
Huh?
Not a little.
Those like
was-
dipper.
I
things,
thought it
right?
was the cup.
What, is it full cup?
Like the smaller cup.
Oh shit! I don't
thought that
remember.
was the
I thought it
smaller
was those.
cup. No,
Well,
it was a lot.
It was a lot. Yeah. Long story short, we're driving by. We had something else too. Didn't we throw like a paintball grenade at them too?
Yes, it was a yellow one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had a paintball. We went back with a paintball grenade. We went back with ketchup cups and then something else.
Mustard. It had to have been.
Yeah, something. And we threw it at these kids on the corner. And we messed them up. Like just got them riddled with shit. Looking back, guys, this isn't like, it's not great. It's just kind of like, it's like,
We were bored.
yeah, we were bored. We were bored. And it was like, we weren't even beefing with them either.
Nah.
Like, at that point, we were just like, let's just go.
That's
do
an
something.
extreme prank.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what
it
essentially
was
what
supposed to be a prank, but it turned into a hell of a night.
Yeah, I'd be
for
pissed
sure.
though.
Huh?
If I was them though, I'd be pissed.
I'd be pissed too. I don't know if I would go this far though.
Yeah, but I mean, they also had, dude. How old was that guy? Like 41.
The one dude was 26. when this
26,
happened.
bro,
The
and
other
we're
guy
like-
was 22.
14,
Yeah.
15-year-olds.
Well, we were
like,
16. I had my car. My car
Okay,
got destroyed.
yeah, 16-year-olds. Why are you hanging out
Right.
with people that like are our age?
Yeah. It's
You
weird.
got nothing better to do?
It's
bro?
weird. dude.
I always thought that whole thing right there.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Hell
because like you know, he's the one getting the alcohol. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
getting all the weed, cigarette.
I think that dude just never really like grew up at all. Like I remember hearing that he was still that he was still working at that gas station. Like
No, I got knocked.
5-10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Which would have been like 10 years after this.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah, it's freaking sad, dude. Or like 8 years ago. So anyway, we drive away. Like we get away somehow. We blitzed. And it's like 5 of us in the car, right? 4 of us. We dropped off somebody. Like we dropped off Nick, didn't we? Because he was the one that was in the trunk.
Yeah.
And he dodged everything, dude. He didn't have to be with it at all. And so we're like driving. Who is it? It was me, you, Drew, PJ, Alex Meyer.
Wasn't Casey had to have been with us. He was one of the chuckers. Casey for sure was with us
Yeah.
because he wasn't at the corner. Casey for sure was with us.
Okay, so it's like us 5, whatever. And so, dude, how did it happen after that? We drove away, and then at one point we like came back down and they caught us.
Yeah, and I almost said the name.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's a nickname, but I almost said it. But yeah, so he got in the car, loaded
Yeah.
up. Oh, I almost said so many names. Okay, loaded up the
Yeah.
peeps, and then they chased us, and then we were going, what is that
I
road?
think
Like,
it's called Villette, isn't it?
huh?
Isn't it called Villette Street?
Is that the one with like Fireman's Park or whatever, going down that straightaway?
I think so.
Whatever that street is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's essentially where all that shit happened. And
Yeah.
that's where he's swerving in, trying to fishtail us.
Yeah. Like
But-
this dude was like, we're going like 40, 50 miles an hour. And this dude, we're like on this side road, this like country road. And this dude is ramming our car, like
Wasn't
literally high speed chase style, as if we were with like running from the cops. And he
Yeah.
threw us off the road into the ditch. And my car somehow, the Mercury Sable, the G-Wagon, right?
The G?
Kept going, dude.
It's,
And I'm in the back of the car. I don't know if you remember this. Drew is like crying his eyes out in the front seat, and I'm like, "Let me out of the car! Let me out of the car!" Like I'm losing my mind because I vividly remember MP he was out of the car at the point that we were in the ditch, and he came up to the window and he's like smacking.
Yes.
And then I'm screaming at PJ, let me out of the car, let me out of the car, let me out of the car. And PJ's like, no, and he hits the gas and then goes and gets us out of the ditch. Somehow he got us out of the ditch.
Legend.
Yeah, somehow he got us out of the ditch. But I was ready to go to work, dude. I was ready to go to work, dude.
Bro.
I was fired up. And so this whole thing, like, they get back in the car because we get back on the road and we actually kick it to the freeway. You remember that?
That's right on 16.
We're going like 110 miles an hour down the freeway, and we get off, and Drew had like called somebody and called the cops.
Freaking Drew, dude.
Yeah. What?
Sorry. He pisses me off, like, especially like as we grew up with him, bro. He's always talking so much shit, always thinking he's so hard, bro. He was the biggest bitch.
Out of
the
everyone.
biggest
Yeah.
bitch out of anybody.
Yeah.
And this dude, anytime, we didn't even get in trouble, fam.
Yeah.
Anytime he thought we were going to get in trouble,
It was everyone else's fault.
streaming,
Yeah.
and it was everybody else's
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah.
Just the biggest. I was like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, there was a point with you, and I'm like, why do we still hang out with this clown?
Yeah. Yeah.
He does dumbass shit.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, dude, and he did a lot of the shit.
Yeah.
And like we would just like sit there and watch sometimes. And like he's the one who initiated the like some of the really illegal shit that happened, you know? And like, but yeah, he'd always like dump it on everybody else. And I even remember like parents getting into arguments and shit over it. And I was always like dumbfounded. I'm like, is this kid ever gonna take responsibility for this? Like,
Ever. Bro.
but it was everybody else's fault. Anyway, we get off the freeway and the cops are waiting for us at this technical college called WCTC, and right there is where like the whole like shebang happened. Like they pulled in, they didn't realize the cops were there because the cops had the lights off or whatever. And then as soon as we all pull in, it's whoop whoop turns on, dude. I remember like just being like so fired up. And then
life's in there.
The first person to get arrested, PJ. PJ was the first person, and he was driving our car to get taken away, to get away.
What did he say about the? Oh, man, I remember this was at lunch though. He was like, "Yeah, I took evasive driving classes."
yeah, dude.
I was like, "No, you."
He had to stay out of trouble to keep his license.
Yeah, that's what it was, bro.
We're like, dude, what the hell?
Like, bro, you didn't do a good job already?
Yeah, like you didn't prove yourself. Like, what the hell? You saved our lives.
Sorry, I didn't mean I have to take it. I have to teach it.
Yeah. It's so crazy. And then yeah, the 26-year-old and the 22-year-old ended up getting arrested and did some time. And then my brother actually went to Nixon Park because my brother in town was like somebody that everybody knew.
Do not fuck with him.
Yeah. And then he showed up and like basically threatened everybody. And like so our buddy Zach Wallenhop was the one who told me that. He was like, you should have seen everybody and like how like scared they were. And I was like, I believe it, dude.
Yeah,
I believe
100%.
it. So that's one of the craziest stories that I think that we ever actually went through.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really like, crazy looking back, but it's also like,
I'm happy that we did it, bro. Like,
oh, dude, I don't know.
like, I'm sorry. Like,
I got a nice little check from it because of my car.
See, and that's for, oh, like, okay. So some things like, yeah, like something like that. Like, I'm just talking about like overall, again, I go back to, I wouldn't change a thing about like our high school days. Like, dude, we had so much fun. And like, again, like, bro, like that's a different.
People are going to be like, they almost died. And he said it was fun.
Well, just like, again, not that portion, but all the shit leading up to it. And like all the laughter, like, bro, like just crying, laughing so hard, you know, from a lot of the shit that we did. And again, dude, like that's how you find your real ones, your day ones, bro. Like that's a different kind of bond. That's a different kind of bond.
That's facts because I think about it too. Like when you don't snitch on somebody, you like form a certain type of bond too.
100%.
When you like go through something and you don't snitch, none of us snitched. The only one was the one that we talked about before. Yeah. He's the only one that ever snitched on anybody for shit. I remember we were in a court date one time. statute of limitations is 7 years, right? In Wisconsin.
Let's say, yeah.
Okay, so we're in a court date one time, and then they were talking to us about Ricky, and we're like, well, Ricky's right here. Remember, like you were here, and then they were like, no, we're looking, like, isn't there another Ricky? And we're like, we don't know another Ricky.
Yeah,
we don't know another Ricky.
Oh yeah, bro.
Remember?
That's so true,
Yeah,
bro.
we're
I
like-
completely forgot.
Yeah, we're like, we don't know another
Like
Ricky.
I'm the only Rick.
Yeah, he's the only Ricky. Your cousin's name is freaking Ricky, dude. Your cousin. And yeah, but it's just like, I don't know, dude. I think that there's something like, this is, I think, inherent in men to not snitch. And if you snitch, you're a bitch.
Yeah,
for sure.
especially like with your boys, because like, why the fuck are you gonna snitch for you to do better, even though we all were here? We
Yeah.
all were doing that
Yeah.
shit, you know?
Right.
Like, I'd be damned if you snitch on me. Like, bro, like, granted, like I don't fight a lot of my friends, but like, at that point I fight few.
Yeah.
But at that point, like, I'm sorry, you're getting cut off.
Yeah.
You're getting cut the fuck off.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand why we still hung around that fucking slow. I'll stop right there, bro. Like, yeah, I don't know. Cause it's just like, dude, and even one time, like when we were, this was like kind of like the pinnacle of our assholeness.
Oh, we definitely don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, but like that night, bro almost got us caught.
Who?
Drew.
The same guy?
Drew. Motherfucker. I'll just say he's littering the streets with evidence.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And that's why we had to buckle down on bro. Like, dude, stop what you are doing.
Yeah.
3 times in the arm, and this bitch is still crying. Like, what are you? Oh,
like, yeah. Why participate if that's what you're gonna do?
Exactly.
I don't think that I was there for that though. You've brought that up a few times. I don't think that I ever did that. I don't think that I was there with you guys. That's for real.
Shit, I don't think you were.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because I remember the one dude driving the car that you guys were in, and I don't know if I was driving my own car, if I was with somebody else or whatever, but I remember that we did not, but we saw you do it.
Yeah, because it's like, it was Drew, me, my cousin, and dude, okay.
Don't worry, guys. This isn't anything that anybody would like get life in prison for or
no,
anything like that. We just don't want to like say it out loud
and like out ourselves. How much of assholes we were.
Right. Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah.
But we never did any physical damage to anybody.
Yeah. And so I don't know. All this to say is like, I think it's interesting because we also came from like a place of like being broke, you know what I mean? And not like not having anything. And so like, we like, I don't know, dude, like some of the shit that we didn't have and did get, we like sold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
And so I think that like it's weird because people always think that like it's just like hood rats that like are doing this stuff and then reform or whatever. But like we have definitely reformed from when we were like younger kids doing this crazy shit.
Mainly because just like, oh, we can go to jail now?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm okay,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I'm a big ass dude, pretty face, but like, I'm not trying to go to fucking jail.
Diddy's gonna get you.
That's the scariest thing you said all day.
No way.
Bro. Okay, so to prep a little bit for today, again, I wanted to ask that one question.
Yeah.
So I asked Chat GPT, actually. Still got it up here. So it's not exactly like a conspiracy, but, you know, I thought of it just randomly so many months ago, and I called up JQ and I was like, bro, I have this question for you. And so he's like, all right, give it to me. And I was like, so when Adam and Eve, when they were created, did they ever have conversations? And if so, how did they have conversations? Like, did they know a language that we didn't know, or like that we lost, or did they create what is now the Hebrew language, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what I asked ChatGPT right there. And so this is what it tells me, but like I want to get a little bit deeper into it.
Chad, dude, this is
The question whether Adam and Eve had conversations, and what language they spoke is a topic of theological and historical debate. According to the book of Genesis in Bible, Adam and Eve communicated with each other and with God, implying that they did speak and share conversations. However, the Bible does not specifically specify which language they spoke. In Jewish and Christian traditions, some scholars have speculated that Adam and Eve might have spoken a divine or original language given directly by God. That's freaking crazy just to even think about.
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Some traditions suggest that this could have been Hebrew, given that this is the language of the Old Testament. This idea stems from the belief that early biblical names and terms have Hebrew roots, indicating that Hebrew might have been the original language of humanity, which is another insane thing to think about.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the story of Tower of Babel, Genesis 11, 1 through 9, indicates that humanity once spoke a single language before it was confused by God. Resulting in multiple languages, this has led to theories that whatever language Adam and Eve spoke could have been lost or evolved into different tongues over time.
Oh my gosh.
From historical and linguistic perspective, there's no concrete evidence that Hebrew or any other language was the language of Adam and Eve. The idea that they spoke Hebrew is largely based on religious tradition and interpretation rather than historical linguistics, and that's all it gave me. But like, bro, that really makes you think, like, was there truly just a language that they were just created knowing, like a Sims character? Or if it was communication and, you know, talking, was it done telepathically, you know?
So in the Bible, it also says that if you were to hear or see God, like actually hear or see God, you would die.
Yeah, but I don't think it was like that for them. I mean, he literally created them. Why would he's like, hear and see me, I'm going to kill you? But like, are you saying just working through things to hear and see? Like, vision?
So what I think, like, maybe it could be like, if that's the case, you could speculate that yeah, they probably had their own divine language that they spoke with God about or through, right? Rather than, because like, why would it be the case that after Adam and Eve then, that people would die if they saw God or heard God?
Probably because, you know, they say with the tree, like that was the first, you know, disobedience. So cut the ties between divinity and humanity.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So like they probably did actually communicate with God somehow. Like they had a language or whatever. Right. But then, but then it's like, how did they develop language from? Dude, just think about people just making random noises.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to look at something. Yeah. And this was something, bro, like my mom and I, like, because she's fluent in Spanish. So I remember one time we were driving the car and I just couldn't understand, like, how Spanish-speaking people, and again, like, bro, like, I'm 10 years old, okay? Give me a break. I didn't understand how Spanish-speaking people didn't know what English was. Yeah. Because they know the name of, let's say, a dog. Yeah. So it's like, so you're telling me someone, a Spanish speaker, looked at a dog and said, perro.
Yeah.
You know, like, how does any language come about? It's just all jumble, mix up fake words.
It's just noises. Yeah. It's noises with your mouth. I've thought about this so often too, because I even think about like swearing, right? Like I ask the question so much, is like swearing a sin. I've asked so many people this question. And some people are like, yes, because the Bible says not to curse or whatever. But I'm like, okay, but cursing from back then compared to now, and also, do we take context into consideration of like why you are contextually using a word? So something that my mentor told me is like the F word is used to desensitize the relationship between man and woman, the intimate action that you can make, sex, right? So like they use that word. I'm like, I can understand where you're coming from, but was the intention of that word being created meant to describe sexual intercourse?
No. What I think would happen is that some dude stubbed his fucking toe and was like, oh, fuck!
Right,
Sounds good.
I think that, you know? Sounds good. Yeah. I think that was probably what... I think that's probably what it was too.
100%.
And then somebody perverted it to make it something else, you know, but that's what happens with a lot of things in life. So can you always say that things are sin because it got transferred into something else that humans decide to make it transferable into, right? Like, so like, for example, lit, I lit a fire. I lit something on fire. Lit, drunk. So now is it that every single time you use the word lit, are we just referring to drunk? So like, I just drunk that thing on fire. Do you get what
I mean,
saying?
100%. Yeah, it has the context, and like, especially, I would say, more so generalize with the population, so that everyone has a clear understanding. Because, like, for instance, bet, you know, you you take your cousin, bro.
Oh, Luke, that was so funny.
We're you know always bet. All right, bet.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, what are we betting?
What are we betting on? What are we betting on, dude?
It's like, what?
We're like, he's like, is this a Wisconsin thing?
No, it's an everywhere thing.
Yeah.
Like, you betcha.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, Luke.
Guys, what are we betting?
Oh my god.
It's like we brought that culture to him, you know? So now he understands he's going to pass that along. He's going to continue. But, like, now he gets it.
Yeah,
but
I think that context is everything. Like, the way that you because I even say things like this. Like, okay, there's some... Oh, okay, I was saying this. I think that everything is contextual, right? Dude, I have to run 7.5 miles in this today.
Idiot.
Dude. Did I tell you about what I'm doing in February?
Are you doing an ultra marathon?
Yeah.
Are you?
Legit.
Like, was I right?
Yeah.
Like, dead ass?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's an ultra marathon?
So I will by default be doing an ultra because it's called the Arctos Challenge. So it's in winter, in February here, in Dousman, and it's 6 hours. You run as far as you can go.
Shut the front door. Why?
Just for fun.
You know, I figured you were about to say that because nothing else than people do make sense. But you know what? I wish you the best of luck on that. But that sounds like hell on earth.
It's gonna be
hell.
That's the whole point.
Earth.
Though. This is the whole point.
How far do you think you're gonna make it?
I'm gonna shoot for 32 miles.
32.
Yeah. If I get more, awesome. But 32. I figure. So if I run between 11 and 13 this year, yeah, February 22nd, this upcoming year, I figure if I run,
bro, February 22nd is my birthday.
Yeah, but it's a Thursday.
Dude, do you see how bad of a best friend is?
Well,
my birthday's January 22nd. Idiot.
I don't know anyone's birthday, dude. Okay, anyway,
late.
Everything's contextual, right?
Yeah,
so like
yeah,
swearing and shit. I was talking to my mentor about this because he's a Christian. He's the one that got me back into it. I was like, I feel like if you have a message to spread, but no one's going to listen, your message doesn't mean anything.
Agreed.
So if you can use language to emphasize your message and it makes it more appealing to a certain crowd of people and you reach a crowd of people that otherwise wouldn't have heard it, isn't it okay to use it?
I guess, but then I would say in his defense, well, what if, that's not... So taking exactly what you just said, but now take it as doing the devil's work. Are you still going to feel okay about it? So
No,
again,
agreed,
taking his side of the whole thing, swearing's a sin. Well, if I'm the devil and this is going to give me some kind of praise, any kind of energy, spread that. It's going to spread like wildfire. Why not?
Yeah, I agree.
But when it kind of going back to your point about cursing and all that stuff, it was completely different times. Like cursing, you're actually putting a curse on somebody, same thing as spelling,
right?
Putting a spell on somebody. But so yes, words do have a meaning, do come into play. But like you said, for context, I don't think fuck started to pretty
Talk
much
about
just
sex.
pervert sex.
Yeah.
No, you didn't have Let's see. I'm trying to think of an old name.
Yeah.
Like old.
George Washington.
No, like you didn't have Hyperion saying like, "Oh, just fuck
Yeah.
petrol,"
Right.
you know.
Petrol.
I don't know. I don't know what names were back then.
Right.
Some goofy name.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have that. Like,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't to pervert that. It was like I think it just happened out of injury.
Yeah.
Truly.
No, I agree. I don't
But
think I think a lot of this stuff like is just,
Where does it come from? Like
Yeah.
like shit.
Right.
You know, like
Who made that up?
so you got excrement,
Yeah.
then you got poop, and then you got shit. Who's coming up with all
Fecal
these
matter.
fecal matter, like all the like I don't know. And that's what makes you think like, yeah, it doesn't fucking matter, you know?
I thought about this yesterday.
Because fuck can be good, bad, neutral. It has so many meanings. Sorry, I was finishing that out.
Yeah, I agree. But I thought about this yesterday with like trends, right? Like dressing, like clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You know how the like cool thing right now is like joggers and then socks that go over the joggers with like Vans or something, a hoodie and like a beanie.
Mm-hmm.
Some kid was dressed like that at the park the other day when I took the kids there, and I was like, dude, who came up with this shit? Like,
We did.
genuinely, who comes up with it? And why don't we ever know the first person who does it?
Yeah, yeah,
get
and
what
like
I'm
just
saying?
make it pop. Because like I would say it would start off by celebrities. You know, that's where a lot of it's gonna just kind of start from.
Yeah, but this is so trippy to me because
But-
I don't know who any of the first people are that do this shit.
Me either, but I want to know. Like, damn, like why can't we come up with anything else new? Like the fact that everything's cyclical.
Yeah, cycles.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
everything. Even dude, and I specifically remember this. So we were actually talking about this conversation. It wasn't you and I, it was me and my ex. And this is when I was out in like River Falls area. And so we were talking and I was like, I can guarantee overalls will come back. I put money on it. Within 3 years, bro, everyone was busting those overalls. It's like, what did I tell you?
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
Like,
Like
this is weird.
like-
I almost bought a pair yesterday.
overalls?
Yeah.
On God?
I saw like there's like a Temu ad came up with camo overalls, and I looked at it. I was like, should I get these?
Thank God she told me no.
Well, she ordered them.
No, she didn't.
Nah.
Because like, what are you gonna wear them with? You ain't no farmer.
Dude, I just
You're
thought
not
they-
in the 90s.
I just thought they looked cool.
Which is fair. I mean, why else?
Just
would
wanna
anyone
look cool.
Buy anything that you put on your body, but still,
Yeah.
like, yeah, everything's cyclical. So I forgot what we were honestly talking about.
I don't know. First, we talked about Adam and Eve.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But like, what brought us to this conversation?
Everything's cyclical.
Okay, so we'll just put a period on that.
Because you said that you'll guarantee that overalls will come back.
Yeah, but like we were talking about fat. Oh, like who started it?
Yeah,
and
who
all
starts
that. Yeah,
trends.
yeah.
Like
So-
I'm like confused.
But like for me, like
Yeah.
when I noticed that overalls are coming back,
Yeah.
that was off of IG. Like I was scrolling, on
Yeah.
IG. It's like, oh shit, a lot
Yeah,
of
but
people.
who's the person?
I don't know.
This
I
shit
don't know.
bothers me.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know why this bothers me so much that I like see something and I like because like I see all these kids at the gym, bro. All of them at the gym wearing the same shit or the same haircut, and I'm always like, who's the first one to do it?
And I
Like the
think-
mullet came out.
Yes,
again?
bro. That's what I was about to say. The mullet with the hanging cross ear.
Yes.
Like, can we please stop,
Bro, I'm like, who did it?
Can we
Who
please
did
stop?
it?
But
Like,
that for sure came from
TikTok.
Some douche on TikTok.
Yeah.
100%. Or a pack of douches.
But who?
The ones who have the most views on it.
Like in
The
CrossFit,
longest video.
In CrossFit, the mullet came from Colton Mertens and Justin Medeiros. But who did they get it from? Because they definitely saw somebody else with it.
Yeah, but like it's not like the mullet is anything new. Like even for let's say like back when we were in high school, like the hockey team, they would if they're going further into let's just like states or if they went to state,
Yeah.
everyone had a mullet.
Yeah,
because
but
that was
why
the thing.
Why do they do it though?
I don't know.
They did it to be freaking what's it called? What do we always say that Dylan did? He was like,
A hick.
no. We were like, he's just trying to be
Like a bandwagon jumper.
no,
like,
because he was like he
riding that wave, bro.
kind of yeah. I don't know. He would just do things for the meme, basically, right?
Okay.
And so like if like, that's the only word that I can come up with right now. But basically, the hockey team did it for the meme. They did it to be like sarcastic
as a joke, and that's where it starts.
But now it's like cool to have the mullet, and like these kids, like their hair is back in front of their face again, and like they can't see. I'm like, what is going on?
Your mom's here. And it could very well be like that. Think about like even our parents, they're probably feeling and thinking the same thing because they lived through it. And so seeing as we lived through it and now took a step back and are seeing it with our own eyes, it's just like, why is that even happening? Like, what are you doing? But like we were there. Like, dude, we gave Dylan a mullet in what's her name's class?
Johansson's.
Yeah. Like that was in the class, bro.
And
like,
Johansson gave me extra credit to cut my rat tail.
Yeah. Another thing, dude, they're so gross, but like, like people mess with that nowadays. Like,
hey, are you guys back?
No, dude, I'm right here.
Mom?
Ma, the meatloaf!
The meatloaf. Yeah, they're back. I can hear them.
Yeah, I can hear them too. A little further. Do it. You can do it.
There we go. Let's talk quick on this pod real quick about conspiracy.
Okay.
What conspiracies are there out there right now? Have you heard any?
Outside of the ones that we recently talked about. No.
Check this out. What's that dude's name again? The one that I sent you the other day. Or I showed it to you live on here.
Yeah, I don't remember. Dude, Caden got so big, bro.
He's humongous.
Why is he so big? He's 6.
73 pounds.
Is he 6 or 7?
He's 6. He's about to turn 7.
Bro, he's going to start beating your ass.
Yeah,
be careful.
Yeah, right.
He's going to grow up.
It'd be
talking to me like that, Dad. He's 12 years old.
A cold day in hell, dude. Let me tell you what. Dang, dude, I can't find it. What do you think's gonna happen this week?
Oh, with the elections. Yeah. Speaking of that, Milwaukee was fun the other day. Thank God you didn't go.
Did you go down?
No, I stayed very clear. Very clear. I want to pick Jai's brain though, or no, Vic, because I know he went out downtown. So I'm like, you're crazy. But anyways,
he went out?
Yeah.
Like to party?
Yeah, because his friend was turning 21.
The same night as the Trump rally?
Same night.
Dang. Okay.
Both of them were there, bro. Trump and Kamala.
Kamala was?
Yeah.
When?
What was it, Friday?
She didn't do anything though.
She was in town.
What?
Both of them were downtown Milwaukee.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But damn, what led me to why did I bring that?
Because you said you want to pick Vic and Jai's brain.
Oh, you asked me like what do you
What's
think is going to happen? Like who do you think or who do I think is going to win?
Yeah.
Well, who? I don't know. That's a tough one because, like, I have a feeling that Kamala's gonna win.
Yeah,
truly do. But I think Trump he's got like some revenge in there where I don't know, man. It's gonna be iffy. But I feel like Kamala's gonna win. But Trump will be our president. Somehow. If I could put it that way.
Somehow.
Yeah. If I could put it that way.
Okay. This is like, I haven't seen this anywhere or anything, but like, I've seen already that people are like burning the early votes.
Really?
Yeah. People are like going to mailboxes and burning them already. That was one thing that I saw that I saw on Instagram. People are burning the shit already. That's right? And supposedly MSNBC or somebody already released that Kamala had won the election.
What?
Yeah. So like somebody already released this, like some news station already messed up and released something like that.
Dude, that person is dead.
Yeah. Dude. So like, and that could have been a meme. It could have been misinformation or something like that. Like, I don't know, but I saw that. And now, dude, what I really think, I think Kamala like wins. But I think it's like a dogfight this time. I really do. Because, okay, just riddle me this, right? Objectively, I don't like either of them.
Yep.
So I have no dog in this fight.
Zero.
Okay.
Just the fact that we are in the US of A.
Yes, but objectively, I think people have to admit Trump is winning the people's vote by far. Like, I don't give a shit about either of them.
Yep.
But I think that culture has shifted towards Donald Trump almost like 90%. No one talks about Kamala.
Because
No one. She doesn't show up on any podcast except for Call Her Daddy or whatever. She doesn't like. There are not influencers that are coming outright and backing her and talking stats against Donald Trump and all this stuff. But people are doing that for Trump. Like the Nelk Boys, Jake Paul just released a whole 15, 20-minute video like showing statistics between Trump and the Biden administration and all this stuff. A bunch of other influencers have come out, like so many people. You know, he did Rogan. Rogan gave Kamala the option to do the podcast and they didn't do it.
maybe, I don't know.
JD Vance did the podcast almost immediately after Trump did, which
Maybe
is
they see it as like, okay, like this clearly, I don't know, backfired on him before. We don't want to get caught up. But like, I'm sorry, like, and I personally feel this way, but like the reason why more people are wanting to side with Trump, because like, bro, people are pulling out Kamala's bold ass face lies to everybody and just slapping it there. Like the most recent one that I personally saw was a picture of her, you know, like so Trump went to a McDonald's and worked for a little bit, you know, very recently. And so Kamala was saying like her roots and everything and like how she worked at McDonald's back in the 80s and had this picture of her, you know. But the internet being the internet found the original picture, plus that lady who the original picture was came out and said it, and it was like clear as day, like, bro, photoshopped. They didn't even change the color of her arm on her skin.
it wasn't Kamala.
Yeah. No, it wasn't her. But like she presented and even said like, yeah, you know, like I worked at McDonald's too. And like, if you know, like, let's wake up and smell the coffee here. What year do we live in? 2024, bro.
The internet.
It is
dude.
the internet.
The internet
Why would
never
you
stop
put
interneting?
Exactly. Why would you put anything out there, especially if you're trying to run for presidency, that you are about to get caught up for, bro?
That's crazy.
That you're gonna endorse yourself, and that's the reason. Like at that point, it's just like lie after lie, and this isn't the first time, bro. She's been caught up like 3-4 times, and you know, granted, yes, we can say the exact same thing for Trump, you know, while he was in presidency, outside of it, but like, bro, at this point, his shit's aired out. All eyes are on him, like. At that point, it's like, yeah, like I'm not gonna do anything either. I'm just gonna run my race.
Well, dude,
you know.
And I told like Heather and I were talking about this the other day, and it's like with Trump, like you might not like him, people might not like him, but at least you know what you're getting.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's I guess to sum it up, exactly what I just said.
Yeah,
at least you know what
like
you're getting.
If you don't like the way he like his rhetoric, the way he talks or anything, you at least know what you're getting. Like with Kamala, we have no clue
Because we don't know. I don't know who she is.
Yeah, zero.
She's gonna put a bunch of people away for jail or in jail for marijuana, but then in a separate interview, come on, guys, it's marijuana. You know,
right?
It's nothing serious. But like, you're the one who actually put them away.
Yeah, you did it.
Like that. Yeah. So it's just like the back and forth. So like, truly, who are you?
It would be like so much different if a candidate would come out and be like, I did these things. These were my beliefs before, and I have changed now.
I would respect that,
even if you're lying.
Yeah, but you at least said it, and you now gained some kind of respect from the people.
Trust, respect.
Yeah.
Just lie about it. You know, like you're lying anyway. Might as well lie about another thing.
What she's doing, yeah. I mean, I guess, but at this point, that's what she's doing. But it's just backfiring. Like I'm guessing she did not, because like that whole post too. It was up that I think it was taken down either the day after or same day after she got caught.
Yeah, I think what happens is that they announced Kamala won, and then something else happens where Trump actually takes office.
That's why I said I think Kamala wins, but Trump will be our next president.
Yeah, I agree with you. Dude, I genuinely just like I can't believe that anybody thinks that Kamala is actually like winning. I don't know where or how that belief comes through. You know?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You think that any like riots happen or anything? You think that the country goes a little bit crazy for a minute?
Yeah.
You do?
100%. Yeah. Like I don't think it's gonna be as crazy, you know, as some of the stuff that we went through and lived through, but I think some stuff is gonna pop off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like honestly, because it's America, and like, I'm sorry, but like, there's a decent amount of Trump fans that are just like OP, like not even just OP, but like and OC, bro. So it's just they take it to the extreme. And like I understand there are extremes on both ends, but if you're going to take a liberal extreme versus a democratic extreme, which one do you think is going to do damage?
Wait, liberal versus conservative, you mean?
Sorry, yes. Yeah,
well,
sorry.
Okay, my opinion is that the liberals always do way more damage.
But like actually, so take, the Capitol.
Dude, nothing happened.
But like,
this is another lie.
Are the liberals gonna go to the Capitol and bust in?
Well, they did all the BLM.
Or are they?
And
that was somebody else kind of backpacking and turned it into something completely different. But
yeah, but
outside of that,
that's what a lot of people are saying about the Capitol thing too. Was that it was Antifa, so it was bad actors. So it wasn't like actually any of the. So like, have you watched the videos of January 6th?
Yeah, I mean, from back then, yeah.
Bro. And also, Ryan Stutz was there. Did you know that?
No.
Did I tell you that? No.
Did you guys talk about it when he was on?
We didn't talk about it, actually. That's probably be a good idea. But, dude, the cops let everybody in.
Yeah.
They literally let people in the Capitol.
Then why were there people jumping over everything?
Because before they started letting people in, some people smashed windows. And supposedly there's evidence and there's like videos of those people like plotting it, and they were Antifa or something. So they were like far left people, like a far left group that did it. But all of like the crazy shit that happens in the country when it comes to like all the violence or destruction or whatever has always happened from far left groups. It's almost never conservatives. Mm-hmm. There are, of course, there's like, and again, I'm not conservative or liberal. I'm just like speaking from like an objective viewpoint. the conservatives in my brain, like, do you remember when COVID happened, how suddenly every conservative guy turned into a tough guy on the internet? Do you remember that? Like, they're like all like, we have guns and we're not going to listen to the government. And they're
not
still
taking our guns. You're not taking our guns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But dude, they never do anything. It's always like these guys, they're just like cosplaying the right. You know what I mean? The conservatives are always cosplaying. At least the liberals, I don't agree with any of the shit that they do, but at least they actually like are violent. Like they actually do something. You know what I mean? Like if remember the riots and shit, like it was say what you want about the whole incident that caused the BLM riots. None of it was right. The destruction of like, if you want like urban communities to like prosper and stuff, you don't go into the city and you start like demolishing shit, right? You know, like you just don't do that, period. You like go and you spend more money there so that they can like bring the area up and shit, you know, like the north side of Milwaukee, go to the businesses, spend more money, stuff like that.
True, but I'm gonna cut in really quick. You know, like especially, you know, like as a black person, like I saw that, like, and granted, I never supported the riots or anything, but I saw that as, unfortunately, that's the only way that we are able to get heard, if we make noise like that.
Yeah, but check this out.
You can take all the protests, all that, like, yeah, you can make some noise, but like, what's going to get done about walking?
But who was it primarily that was doing it?
So I mean, so out in Minnesota.
In every city, what was the primary, like, when you watch videos?
It was all the hood rats, bro.
No, dude.
That's what at least the videos I saw, Chicago. Bro. Man, even just driving down there, all the boarding up of the windows, all that. Like, for me, I saw, like, all black people doing it, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, look at just, like, Milwaukee. It was all white people. Do you know that in Milwaukee, they literally said to the black people, like, stand back. Let us lead this.
Back in the bus with you.
Yeah, dude, do you get how racist that actually is?
It's so
Do you understand how racist that? Like,
bro, why are you here?
Like, guess
fam?
what? We're gonna protect you.
Yeah,
guys.
like we
you know
don't
what I mean?
need your protection.
As
now
if,
you want to protect us,
Right.
but before this, you crossed the street when I was walking.
yeah,
next,
exactly.
Like,
As
coming
if,
up to you.
as if like black people aren't capable enough by themselves.
Right,
Like, white
though.
people have to do it for them. You know, whatever. And like, I guess the blessing there is that like more white people got hurt or in trouble rather than black. You know, the blessing, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
But it's like that's like inherently racist itself. Is like a bunch of white people saying that you can't handle this, we're gonna handle it. You know what I mean? Like that's way racist.
Don't worry,
Super racist.
I got this.
I don't know, dude. Either way, I think that it's I think that there will be some sort of civil unrest no matter which way it goes.
Yeah.
I just don't know how bad it's gonna be.
And who knows, man? Like maybe they even might roll out Project Bluebeam like in full force.
I think for sure some wackadoodle shit like that is gonna happen.
Because I don't see why not.
Yeah.
So it's already a fucking circus here.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally.
Throw in a few more clowns.
They're gonna be like they're gonna send like trans people from the sky coming down like in full body armor and stuff.
We are them.
Yeah.
And they are us.
Oh shit.
No, so like yeah, I don't know. Something's for sure gonna happen. But so let's take Project Bluebeam because I kind of want to roll with this a little bit.
Yeah.
So Jennifer and I, we were just started watching last night. Part 1 of, I think it's on Peacock. It's called like the Manhattan Abduction, Alien Abduction, I think it's called. And so
Like a doc?
yeah, so it's like a 2-part documentary, but they do a pretty damn good job on it, dude. And it's very, very convincing. I'm very excited to watch the second one.
Huh.
But so we were talking. She's like, "So, do you think aliens are real? You know, and like if they are, well, she knows that I think aliens are real. She's like, why do you think aliens keep on coming here? Essentially, and like, what would be the reason? I was like, well, honestly, like my true belief is that aliens are us from the past. You know, because like
From the future?
no, from the past, but is us. So
Like an advanced civilization from the past.
exactly. Not even taken, willingly gone with, you know, said aliens. And so I think there is human race out there, and I would even say muddled human race to the point where it is, you know, they've been genetically modified to not coexist, but to essentially work with the alien DNA. So now we have hybrids, you know, so there's hybrids out there. But I think a lot of it did start with just our ancient civilization going with them, clearing out all this knowledge, all the past and everything, just kind of just wiping it clean. Because like, who else would know best about the human race and like Earth and all of that if you didn't come from here, you know? So like, and think about it too. So that happened tens and thousands, or at least 10,000 years ago. You're telling me that we're going to have an advanced civilization here and an even more advanced civilization somewhere else that now have met. You're going to tell me in 10,000 years they wouldn't be able to create everything that they've done? You're telling me they wouldn't actually come to a point where it is just standard practice to create human hybrid aliens now?
Wait, so you think that they're like still alive from 10,000 years ago?
Not still alive, but the generations, the Smith family from 10,000 years ago.
It's still the Smith family, but it's just their offspring.
Exactly. Like, because
But where
why
are they
not?
living though?
In a different planet, like wherever these aliens are truly coming from.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and you can talk about Hollow Earth, like so many conspiracies, but like, yeah, I think that's just me personally, that's what I believe. Like,
Hollow Earth is a crazy one.
yeah, I know, man. That one piques my curiosity so much, but no, like when it comes to aliens, I think it's just us.
Yeah.
Bro, like truly. And she even asked me, she's like, well, why do you think that they would keep on coming back? And I was like, well, I see it as, you know, we have resources that they need, and I think the planetary or the universe kind of just works in that system, like a scratch your back system. Like, hey, we're gonna come get what we need, we're gonna go, but we're gonna give you something. And let's say that the government does know about aliens and everything that's been happening. What kind of sense does it make for an alien planet or just an alien group to come here and destroy everything, even though they need what we have? What kind of sense would that make? It would make zero sense compared to, hey, let's take it back so our planet can survive, our people can survive, but then let's keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Let's feed the earth this. Let's feed the, like, bro, I'm sorry, but I think that's where we got Velcro from.
From the aliens?
Yeah, like, how else are you going to make it on that time? Like, I'm sorry. Like, in that year that it actually rolled out. But, like, a lot of our technology, but, like, I don't know. I think it's just a scratch your back system, bro. Like, I really think it is.
Lilo and Stitch style.
Like, yeah, because, like, why else? I don't think we'll ever get to a point where it's an alien invasion. They're coming to eradicate the human population. I don't think we'll ever get there.
I don't think so either. I think that the government will fake that, though.
I mean, they could. Yeah. But hopefully, at that point,
that's what Project Bluebeam is.
Yeah, and hopefully, at that point, that's where our alien friends do come in. Like, no. We are the real ones. Yeah. That's your government, bro.
Right?
Come with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Like, but. Yeah, I don't know, man. I have a lot of thoughts. A lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
Conspiracies, all that. You okay, guy?
Oh, I sat on my bottle.
Yeah, you loved it.
No, I didn't like it.
He said, oh,
I didn't like it that much.
That much is crazy.
I think that's one of the like freakiest and craziest things about like the world is that there's so many different theories about so many different things, and it bugs me out because like we will never know.
Nah,
we will never know.
Never. And like, so another show that I'm watching. So it's Dan Brown's Lost Symbol. Dan Brown's Lost Symbol.
I don't know.
I think that's what it's called. But essentially, it's about like the Freemasonry and a symbolist. And bro, such a good show. It goes deep, and like it piques your curiosity, like National Treasure did, and just had you wanting to go out there and go hunt for some treasure.
Is Nicolas Cage in this too?
No. Same kind of feelings, mixed in with just some supernatural stuff, but it's just like all stuff that makes sense, but it's like old ancient knowledge. And so that's where the supernatural comes into play. But like, dude, like it has me fiending wanting to go out there looking for these clues because just like the main treasure, the main prize is this ancient knowledge that Freemasons like have been protecting and all that. Like, so it's like things like that where like you and I, people of color, like we'll never actually figures out what happens in like a Freemasonry club, like especially getting to the 33rd degree, like all that stuff, and like what, and like do they delve into it? And granted, like it's Hollywood spin on it, so we're not going to get the full truth, but like a lot of it is just like shit that's real life. Like even one of the paintings made by a 15th century like German painter, like specifically this painting depicted like the failure of humanity trying to become gods, and so he was a Freemasonry, and in his painting he's got a window, and each one this window depicts all these numbers, but he was the only one or the first one to do it. I forgot like how many are in this graph, but each way you put these numbers, it comes out to be 34 everywhere. But like 15th century German artist, but like all this stuff, I never would have found that out if I didn't watch that show.
Numbers are so weird, dude.
Numbers are
sequences
real.
of numbers find themselves everywhere.
I think that's the true language.
I was just reading, for sure, math. I was just reading a portion in the Bible, and it said, "What is the significance of numbers throughout the Bible?" And so like 40 has significance, 7 has significance, 10 has significance, and then there's like one other number. Is it 3? It might be 3. All have significance in the Bible due to like the day of rest, or 8 too, 8. Because the day of rest, and then like 40 days, 40 nights of grieving or something like that. Like there's so many different things. So like when I hear people talking about like numbers don't mean anything or like there's no significance, I'm kind of like,
drugs.
Dude, are you sure? Like that seems to be like
The
like
main thing.
super important. Yeah, because even like when you build a house, if something's off by a little bit of a number,
Messes everything up.
yeah, geometry, like
Structural damage.
Yeah.
You got a side lean in, and it could be just a few centimeters. But yeah, you're right.
yeah,
You are right, dude.
it's wild. And then like when you look at so many of like, dude, I hate to say it, but like, you know, when you look at how people use numbers to like, I don't want to say predict things, but they use numbers as like equations for outcomes for certain things. I'm kind of like, yeah, well, because I don't believe like, I don't know, dude. I think that can be like weird, right? Like, I don't think that people should be doing that personally, but I do think that like the other
use
side
numbers.
does that. You know what I mean? Like, because I think personally, like, I think you should put your trust in God. Like, don't try to tell the future. Just like leave it what it is. God's got a plan.
But who's to say that that's not God working through somebody?
I've thought about that too. I think what the issue still is that like if you are not, so like in the Bible it talks about prophets and like you need to be given notice that you're a prophet basically, right? So I think that if you do things in terms of like, this is why people would call other like women witches or like wizards and stuff, and that would not, that's not of God, you know what I mean? Because again, like
That time was fucked, by the way.
Huh?
I said that time back then was fucked.
Yeah.
Very ass backwards,
Oh, yeah.
I will say. But
like what the whole thing is like, you're supposed to put your fully trust and belief in God. And then, you know, the Bible also says anxiety is a sin. Why? Because you need to give the trust over to God and leave your fears alone, right? And so that's where I'm kind of like, even when I like talk to Alyssa about this stuff, right? I'm like, dude, the reason why you use those cards and numerology and all this stuff is because in astrology is because you're anxious for some sort of answer. Like, just trust that the plan is going to work.
But why can't we just be curious?
I think curiosity and
that's a human's nature to be curious.
yeah, 100%. Adam and Eve were curious.
And they found out. Them motherfuckers found out quick.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But
so like curiosity isn't always like a good thing. It can
which
lead
I
to
have
good
heard,
things.
and
Yeah.
there's this one crazy dude who walked into Sears and always talked to me about Bible stuff, and
Yeah.
we'd honestly play devil's advocate back and forth with each other. But like, yeah, he did say like, curiosity is a sin.
Yeah.
It's just like having that, like, honestly, gaining more knowledge than need be is a sin. It's just like, but who's to
I never
say?
heard that.
Who's to say, like, when my knowledge stops, you know? So essentially, like, what he was alluding to was, like, gaining knowledge of the gods, you know, that's the sin.
Yeah, which that can be weird because I don't think that that's even possible, right? But
I think, I don't know, man, like, especially after, and, like, I don't want to say that this one show is convincing me because, like, it's further pushing my belief, I should say, not convincing.
in God?
Not in God, but like in some kind of supernatural, like divinity power. But when it comes to vibrations, sounds, things like that, like that's where I think it truly leads and lies in. But like when it comes to telling the future, knowing the future, and even if it's like a prophetic thing where said person needs to be a prophet, where it's not a sin, like, but like that prophet has to have kids, right? Like, why wouldn't that get passed down? You know, like clearly this person is born with it because God gave him or her this ability.
Yeah.
It's not just going to go away, but like, and I mainly say it because like, dude, I scare myself.
Yeah.
With me guessing like so many right things. Everyone just saw it. I said you were going to do an ultra marathon, specifically an ultra marathon.
Yeah.
And you said, yeah.
Yeah. I think the problem isn't whether or not somebody has an ability. The problem is when I use idolatry with the ability. So like if you were to use that ability and then people were to come to you for answers as if you were God.
Yeah.
That's where the problem becomes.
Agreed.
And lies in.
Because you are a false God.
Yeah, exactly. Or like
problem.
because I'm not going to say that I don't believe that people have weird abilities because I definitely think that. But I think that too, like, just because you have an ability doesn't mean exercise the ability. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Because, like, I always say, especially, like, when something happens where I absolutely said to the T what was going to happen, Jennifer will attest to it too. It's like, if only I knew how to hone these powers, you know? I say that all the time, but yeah, like I say it for like a self-benefiting situation. Like, oh yeah, I'd win the lottery then, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take over the world.
Right. Yeah. Not yet. Not yet.
So it's just like, I think it does go ever so far to a point, but to call it a blatant sin, nah. But
Well,
like,
it's only a sin if like you don't if you don't trust God's plan and you are trying to take full control.
but then again, like, what if one does have that belief that this is God's plan?
I think you can have that belief, but that doesn't mean it's right. Like again, I have the ability to go and deadlift 630 pounds, but like if I chase that ability, I could get hurt.
You could, and it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But if God gave you the absolute ability to do that, then why wouldn't you?
I think that if it was meant to be, it wouldn't cause anything wrong, like to happen.
Nah, because then life wouldn't happen. I'm sorry. Life, is simply life.
So think about okay.
Because we're here, we cut our finger. We any bad thing can happen. So
yeah, well, you have the issue of free will too.
well, there's
right?
but like free will doesn't come into play when bad things happen. Not every time, like, because a lot of it some of it can be accidents.
Well, bad things have to happen as a what's it called? As an effect of free will. Because a bad thing's not going to happen if you didn't freely choose to do something.
Depends on who labels it as bad as well. But
yeah, but I mean, like, so, like,
but yeah,
if you get into a car accident, you had to make the choice to drive the car.
Correct.
It's not going to happen otherwise. You know what I mean? So
two people would have to make the choice.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
I guess not exactly, because you can
no.
crush it. You
but
can
so
run into a pole.
If you get into a car accident, you had to make the choice to drive the car in the first place. You're not going to get into an accident.
But is that car a sin? Being in that car a sin?
No, I don't think. I mean, that's not a sin, right? That can't be a sin because of whatever reason. But if you so like, well, I guess it also comes down to do you take the gospel as truth,
Like as word?
Yeah.
You know, for me, I would say to a point, because that, like, let's just take the Bible. Bible has been rewritten so many times.
Yeah.
So like at some point there's someone's agenda is going to be played in it. That's why things have been taken out, put back in, yada, yada, yada. So I take it as a general term, like, hey, be a good person. You know, these are the rules to become a good person. And I'm not just talking about, you know, the testaments, the 10 testaments, like the actual Bible, you know, granted it's the stories and everything, and it's trying to give you a good understanding about the past and what it means to be human. But I don't think, no, I'm not going to take it for gospel, for word, because a lot of it just doesn't make sense. Like, even, you know, simply going back to the Dark Ages, you know, the Templars and the Knights, like so many wars in the name of God, but it wasn't in the name of God, because God would not want that. It was in the name of whoever's in charge, but labeled it as God.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So it's just like certain things like that, but that's put in history for everybody to think like this was in the name of God. But I'm not going to sit there and believe like you killed tens and thousands, men, children, women, in the name of God.
Right.
For what? Because they were out there living their life. They might have not have even known what religion is.
Yeah.
But they still get condemned to death.
Yeah.
Nah, son.
Well, that type of stuff too is like, I think oftentimes I think that we talked about this on the last podcast. I'm not sure, but like when you have a certain feeling about religion due to humans, right? It's like, so yeah, humans mess up for sure. That doesn't mean anything about the religion.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people perverse
100%.
things because they're like, you know, Christians are the ones that did this. Christians are the ones that did that. It's like, yeah, but that's not in the Bible for them to do it. They did it. You know what I mean? Like, so they're wrong. Yeah, absolutely, for doing that. But that doesn't say anything about the religion. You can't condemn a religion over the acts of human.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of can.
I don't think so. It'd be like
because
saying
without us, this religion wouldn't be here.
I mean,
no religion would be here. So, like,
no, the religion wouldn't be here, but God being God would still be here.
Right,
So
right, right.
Christianity
But,
wouldn't
like,
be here without Christ.
right. And I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
so let's, I do believe God is our one true God.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I've always believed that, grew up with that. But, like, so let's just take, just all the other religions that came out of everything, without the fire of humans, you don't have anything. I'm sorry.
No,
That's
I agree. Yeah.
just because, like, you can have God, God being the one true God. You're going to be a one true God of an emptyless planet?
Yeah, no. Yeah, yeah.
Like, what's the point then?
Yeah, but the argument is so, like, if Jack the Christian, right, goes out to a store, he's wearing a shirt that professes that he's Christian and wears a cross or whatever, and then he beats up a whole bunch of people at the store and cusses everybody out. Like, that's not Christianity's fault.
No.
That's the human's fault.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't condemn the Christian religion based off of the act of human.
But, and, like, I guess my point is, like, okay, so let's just take Christianity. Boom, you have Christianity. Christianity's a thing here.
Yeah.
Now, whoever is transcribing, passing down this information, gathering all these folks, that's where the perversion comes into play. So it's just like that
sure,
first that first human, let's say, whoever it has to spread Christianity, like it comes down to a point where the entire thing gets perverted.
It can
From the jump, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know exactly what everything is, like, truly what it started it started as.
Yeah,
we just know
that
the perversion.
could be true. That part could be true. Yeah, for sure.
But, like, I don't know, because, like, it's just hard to I guess ask that question, because again, without us, there would be no religion.
Yeah,
that's just simply what it comes down to. So I mean, you don't have monkeys, sitting there praising certain things. Same thing with dogs. Like, it's all going to be a materialistic thing. Like, a dog is going to praise his ball, but he's not going to count that ball as God, because he doesn't know any better.
Yeah,
he counts us as God.
Yeah,
so are we God to him?
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that
trickles down perspective. Like, I don't know. That's a fully loaded question you asked, my friend.
Yeah. Because I always tend to think, like, so when I was an atheist, I'd always be like, Christianity is stupid, because don't you see the actions of the people in the church, and, like, how there's, like, hypocritical and stuff. And then when I came back to Christianity, I was like, that's just my prescription on Christians rather than the actual prescription of Christ. Right? So, like, Christ wouldn't
do
prescription
instead of perception.
Like, I'm prescribing acts to Christianity.
Okay.
Yeah. No, like, I was the one saying, like, giving the prescription to Christians are, like, prescribing their actions as, like, assholes and all that stuff like that.
I thought you were just saying, like, giving I thought you were
No.
prescription.
Well, it would be perception too. Yeah. It would be perception. But yeah. So I'm like, but now that I'm back, I'm like, oh, well, I was judging the word based off of, like, shitty people.
You're judging the word that these shitty people were saying, essentially. Like, judging the word, but, like, you only know the word from these shitty people.
Yeah, but I also think that some people who claim to be Christians aren't actually Christians.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like, and even for me, like for me, I count myself as a Christian. I count myself as a Catholic. If you see difference in it, cool beans. I don't,
Yeah.
But, like, and this is coming from someone who went to a Catholic school, 1st through 8th grade, and was prepping to go to a Catholic high school until I moved out here. But it's just like, I count myself but I'm not gonna sit here and go to church and pretend to put on a show every Sunday. Like, I know myself, I know my people, I know who I am, and I know my relationship with my God, with God. So it's like, why put on a show for him, even though he's still getting praise from me every single day? Why does it just take that one day to praise God? No.
Yeah.
I'm going to praise you every day, but at the same time, like, I don't need to go there to show my love to him, because he knows
church should be your house, right?
Church is but
in your heart.
My house is my house.
Yeah.
Like, God made this world. The world should be everybody's house.
Yeah.
If you're going to believe that, like, shouldn't just be, I mean, even taking, just in, Jesus Christ. Wow, I'm mind blanking on a whole religion name right now. Hinduism, you know, like when they pray,
Yeah.
no matter what time of day, it matters what time of day, but no matter where they are at this time of day, they take out the blanket, get down. And
You mean
pray.
Islam?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And they pray, you know? So it's just like that kind of mentality I could get behind. I understand that because that makes sense because God made this world that we are living on.
Yeah.
So the entire thing should be his house, your house.
No, I agree. I think that church is in the heart, though. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think that you need to show up every Sunday to a church to be a good Christian. I think that if anybody tries to tell somebody that they're like very wrong because, like, but what I think the whole point to church is community, and that's something that just people lack a lot of. And so, like, even if like you take the simple thing, right? The simple thing is, you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with. So if you're in a Christian church and you're around a bunch of other people, it by default kind of makes your faith a little bit deeper because you're with other people doing the same thing.
True.
You know what I mean?
True, and you're constantly doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would 100% agree with you, community. And I would even call it, like, I don't know, like I kind of see churches as, I had the word. Dude, a lot of mind blanking is going on. But essentially just like, and I know it sounds exactly what it is, like a point of praise.
Yeah.
But literally as in where we have to gather to send our prayers up. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not, but the differences of churches and the design styles. So like if you have an A-frame house, that's for sure going to be, a Catholic church? Because all the praise is going straight up, directed at God, and that's why it's at such a high angle.
Weird.
But so you get all of that, all the people, you know, bundled inside this room, praising God, all the energy getting sent out right there.
Yeah.
And then you have like Islamic church where it's rounded off, and that's spread out. So it's like even the styles of the church kind of matters, you know, what you're doing. So I don't know, man. It's
interesting that a bunch of the religions too, the significance of like the pine cone. Right. That too. So I think I can get on board with some of the stuff that you said earlier, where I think that they're like spirituality and worship and stuff goes way deeper than the surface level of like what we're talking about. Like, why is there symbolism of like the third eye everywhere? You know what I mean? Why do the Catholic Church specifically, why do they chant? Why do they do hymns? You know, stuff like that. Like the Buddhist monks, they chant. They do, you know, for vibration and for like, you know, frequency stuff. And so like I was actually talking to somebody about this, a Catholic dude this week, and I was like, you know, some of this like woo-woo hippie stuff isn't actually all that woo-woo or hippie, because a lot of actually in Christian faith, they practice a lot of the same stuff. Like meditation is talked about in the Bible a lot, like very, very much.
I think you
breath.
would love this show.
Yeah.
I truly think you would love this show because like it is about symbolism and like how deep the world is rooted in just symbolism.
Dude,
there's a point in time where that's all we communicated at, you know, like in written text.
Well, there's way more going on than we think.
Oh yeah.
And like even the Bible talks about breath. Your breath is your spirit, and that's a yogic practice. Like yogis talked about breath and movement, right? And like how it's your soul and whatever. And like the first breath is your soul, your last breath is your soul, is what Christians talk about, right? The first breath you take in, the last breath you take out. All these different things, and they all kind of come together. I think the only thing, you know, and I believe too, like the frequency thing, like being in good vibration, right? So like if you're in good vibration, good things are more likely to happen to you, all these different things. That's why God tells you to give your anxiety to him and to like be in a good, like not to have anxiety, not to live in fear, to give your trust to him. So you're in a good frequency, you're in a good vibration. That's what hippie people talk about all the time, trying to stay in good vibration. Prayer, I think, is the highest form of manifestation. Right. And so like all these people are like, I'm manifesting.
And that comes back to spelling. So, and that's, sorry.
No.
Because you brought it up for me to make my point to the dark times and how ass backwards it was. You know, like they said prayer, you know, is spell casting.
Yeah.
That's what the witches did. But you're doing the same thing, but to a god, you know? So I know I'm butchering it on how I actually want it to come out, but I'll let you continue. Sorry. You could just delete that.
Well, So I think that prayer is like, so many people are like, I'm manifesting to the universe, right? And I'm like, why are you using the universe? Why don't you just go directly to the source? You know, because I am in the belief that maybe the universe is like the aggregate that God uses to like have things happen on earth. But it's like, maybe, I don't know. Why don't you just talk to God? Like, he wants to talk to you anyway. Like, ask him for things, because even in the Bible it says, ask and you shall receive, or ask and I will give you more than you ask for, type thing, right? And so like all these like hippy dippy things like actually really coincide with this stuff. The only difference between like Christianity and being a hippie is that you have to accept Christ to be saved.
Right.
That's literally it.
Right. And
go to heaven.
For any, you know, I would say just a simple, you know, talking about vibrations and frequencies, just a simple thing you can just even do at home for anybody who's got a couple or who does not live alone. Like, you know, when your partner's upset, they can walk in the door
and you're like, dang.
and you instantly,
Yeah.
you feel it.
Yeah.
You don't have to say a word. They don't even have to look at you, but
Like,
you
get
feel
away
it.
from me.
Like, and it doesn't even, and like, but then you're like, especially for me, like it happens with Jennifer all the time. So it's just like, then I'm sitting here thinking like, dude, I did something?
Yeah, what did I do?
Like, there's no way it could be me. I just got home.
Yeah.
I took the dog out. There's no way I did something.
Right.
You know, but it's just like, just a simple thing. Like, you didn't feel that way until this person got home. Why? Vibration, frequencies, because she's sending you that energy or they're sending you that energy that you're picking up. Like, that's all we are. I mean, there's energy running through us constantly.
Yeah.
Actual physical energy. It's how our brains are constantly moving, how our heart's beating, you know? So it's just like, why wouldn't we be a point on picking up vibrations and more energy?
Yeah, for sure.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Saying like it's almost taking like a AA battery. It's
Yeah.
like, oh no, this was dead from the jump, and there's no way energy can get in.
Right.
Why the fuck did you create it?
Yeah, we should talk about that more on the next podcast. I think that there's like a rabbit hole to go down there.
Oh, dude, there's so many holes.
Yeah.
I just keep on.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fun because like, I don't know. I think anybody who takes conspiracies just too serious, like on either side, like, it's kind of lame. It's kind of lame because like conspiracies make you think.
Yeah.
Really gets the brain going. Like, that's when creativity kind of pops out, you know? And it's just like,
well, there's a lot of people that would say like conspiracy theories are like for stupid people. I would actually highly beg to differ.
Highly beg to differ.
I think that they're
How do you get there?
Right. They're smarter people. And like, if you come to the conclusion that the conspiracy is not true, you at least exercise your brain to figure it out.
You did that. You did that.
The math, the mental gymnastics.
The freaking maze.
Yeah.
You know, to figure on Earth and figure, and it's like, oh, it's all BS. Okay. Well,
Right. Yeah.
But I'm that much smarter though.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. I think conspiracies are so fun.
Yeah.
They're so much fun. That's why I was very excited to do this. Like, finally.
For the next one, I'm gonna go online and ask people what they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way we can like research it more and shit too.
That would be very helpful.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
before we end.
Yeah. We got like 1 minute.
1 minute?
Yeah. Because I don't think there's gonna be any more memory on there.
Okay.
Do it quick.
I gotta find it. So we're gonna do a Scratcher Live. My lucky number's lucky number 13. It's been my lucky number forever, and I'm actually getting married on that day as well.
Are you really?
Yep, 9/13/9. That is my power year right there. Because I am a
1
9
minute.
baby. So I'm just pretty much I have to scratch all this, find our matches. I'm not gonna be able to do that in a minute, so I will let Justin know.
We'll
how
put in the
much I
description
won.
in here
Yeah.
if you actually won.
If I
anything.
won. And I'll even send a picture too.
Yeah. For the end of the video.
Yes, of course. But
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. We'll talk to you all in the next one.
it's been fun.
Bye.
Peace.